Hey guys, what's up? It's me. I'm back with another life group video for you all. Hope you're doing great. I want to talk with you just for a little bit today about just a really, I don't want to call it a concept because that's not exactly what it is, but a truth about our lives and our heart's desire and kind of where we focus our attention and our love and why that matters to God. It comes from Revelation chapter 2. We don't do a whole lot in Revelation. A lot of times we get a little nervous about what Revelation's about. We think about the prophecy and think about the end times, and those things are in there. But there's a whole section at the beginning, for those of you that haven't studied Revelation before, there's a whole section at the beginning where there are these letters that basically Jesus is speaking to churches. And there's one really interesting one in chapter 2, and I want to share that with you. He's writing a letter to the church at Ephesus. And what he says down in verse 2 starts this really interesting conversation. He says, I know your works, your labor, your endurance, and that you cannot tolerate evil people. You have tested those who call themselves apostles and are not, and you have found them to be liars. I know that you have persevered and endured hardships for the sake of my name and have not grown weary. So, there's some really good stuff being said. He's encouraging them. He's saying, hey, you have done some good stuff. You've done some really good things. In fact, you've been very diligent. You've stayed on top of the activities of your faith. You're doing the right things. You're making sure that the wrong people and the wrong messages are not a part of your church or not a part of your life. You're really sticking to it. You're persevering. You're enduring. And I'm encouraged by that. And it's almost like God is saying, hey, you're doing good on the stuff that you're supposed to do. But look what he says next. Because in verse 4, he says this. He says, but I have this against you. You have abandoned the love you had at first. It says, remember then how far you have fallen. Repent and do the works you did at first. Otherwise I will come to you and remove your lampstand from its place unless you repent. See, Jesus is making a really important point for the church at Ephesus, and I think it's an important thing for us to think about as well. Christianity, our faith, is more than just the activity of our lives. It's a lot of times we try to simplify it into the things that we do. We try to say that our faith is a matter of going to church, reading our Bible, and praying. And don't get me wrong, those things are vitally important to our faith. If we're not doing those things, we're going to really struggle to grow in our relationship with Jesus. Why? Because that's spending time with Him, and that's how we grow any relationship. And so it is logical that we do that. In fact, when I used to do messages for retreats and stuff, when I first started in ministry, one of the things I would do, I had this message called the PB&J message. And I did it multiple times in different ways, but it was prayer, Bible study, and Jesus. And see, the J part, the Jesus part, is what we're talking about today. See, we can get really bogged down with just doing our faith. But if we forget the fact that it's about a relationship with a person, we've completely lost the whole point. And Jesus is telling the church here at Ephesus, guys, you've done good things, and I'm glad that you've done good things, but you're not loving me anymore. Go back to how you were at the beginning. See, for all of us, when we first come to know Jesus, it's exciting. It's fun. It's a love relationship. It's kind of like any dating relationship. I know some of you all have already started dating. Some of you haven't. But when you first start dating somebody, it's very exciting. And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter where you go. You just really love being with that person. You love feeling how you feel when you're with them and having them close to you. It makes you feel great. And as that relationship goes on, a lot of times it turns into, habits and patterns. Every Friday night we're going to go see a movie, or every Saturday afternoon we're going to go, do something fun. And we're going to go out to eat, and then, I'll drop them off, or they'll drop me off, and and that'll be that. And we kind of get in the habit and the patterns of, this is just how it goes. When the truth is, the healthiest of relationships will not just become patterns, but will really focus on the love and affection that we have for one another. And I don't just mean physical affection. I mean literally my heart loving yours, right? And so when we talk about our faith, that's really what God desires for us to have. Yes, it's important that we do the activities of our faith. It's about obedience. It's about discipline. It's about discipleship. But there is a huge part of this that we can't neglect, and that's the importance of just flat out loving Jesus. Trying to remember what it was like when you first heard about him, when you first met him, and loving him that way. Because that's how we grow in the amount of love that we have for Jesus, and it's something that he desperately wants us to have. He wants a mixture. He wants us to do things because we grow, but he wants us to do those things out of an overflow of our hearts and the love that we have for him. So I want to encourage you with that today. I hope that finds you in a good place. Just a couple of quick announcements. Don't forget, this afternoon at 6:30, I guess that's tonight at 6:30, we're going to have our graduate recognition service. It's going to be a worship service this year. There is no meal, so just want to encourage the students to come with their families. We'll still do speeches. We'll have a couple of little interactive things with some stuff that's going on, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. It'll probably last about an hour or so, but it'll be a great time tonight to celebrate our graduates. So next Sunday, we will plan on meeting at 7 o'clock for our Sunday night youth worship, and look forward to that too. Otherwise, I hope you guys are doing well. I love you guys, miss you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.